And welcome back, everybody.
Second to last part, story-wise.
Yeah, we're just finishing some stuff up. We totally forgot about Zia, so we're gonna go back for her. It's kind of not I was gonna say 51st Dates, but kind of scary movie-ish, where we're like, all right, let's get the last shard and go home. Wait a minute, we're missing someone.
Apparently you forgot something here in the Bastion, though.
Oh right, I was gonna do some upgrades.
Oh, never mind.
With the system, as you can see here, there's those 5, individual upgrades that you can do, and then you can choose between 2 of the effects that the upgrade would have on the specific weapon.
I was gonna state though, without spoilers, of course, when it comes to the ending, any open ends or loose ends, are they all settled by the end of the game, or is there anything open?
I think it depends on the ending that you choose. Like I said previously, the ending can be changed depending on the decisions you make during the very last segment. If you choose a certain ending, which we'll see later, you might it leaves things a little open ended, and it goes into detail about it if you complete the game again in New Game Plus. Ruckus will say something along the lines of, "But that didn't fix everything."
No, but looks like you got the weapon that you were talking about.
Yeah, and here we have the Calamity Cannon. This bad boy will be seeing me using it for the rest of this part, and I believe the rest of the next episode. This thing is a deadly machine. Once again, this is the weapon where the upgrade item is called Something Wrong. As compared to other things like something fancier, something stringy. This is something
accurately named.
Yeah, something accurately named.
But upgrade-wise, I don't think I've asked this before, but is there a determined best weapon in the game, or is it fairly balanced?
It's fairly balanced. It really depends on the play style. Once again, each weapon has 5 upgrades, and then 2 options in each upgrade level as to what effect you want the upgrade to have. For instance, on 1, for the War Machete, you could have a higher critical rate hit, or you could have like a poison effect when you strike enemies.
But each weapon fully upgraded,
They
just
hold their,
preference
yeah,
at
they
that
hold
point.
yeah, they hold their own. What's something I think I failed to mention at this point is, if you don't like the upgrade choice that you've picked in any level, you could always change it to the other option.
Oh.
Yeah, so for example, if I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling the critical hit thing, I want it to do, consistent damage even after I strike the enemy, I could go back and change it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so once again, for the trials, it can be very specific as to what upgrades need to be chosen. I'm thinking of certain ones like the scrap musket. You need to have that wide range shot. You need to have you can't have the nuzzle or anything on it. So you have to you have to choose a certain upgrade in order for you to be able to. Why did I pause the game?
You need to take a break. It's too intense.
I think at that point you actually texted me or something.
Oh, right.
Throughout this playthrough, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
probably like, how's the Bastion playthrough going?
Yeah, something like that. Throughout the playthrough, ladies and gentlemen, normally what we'll do is if we're not in the presence of each other, or if we want to make things a little interesting, at least when it comes to the commentary, we'll record separately. That way, the other person might have questions later on. So here we have Mark going, "Are you done yet?"
Is Bastion done yet?
Are you done? It's been taking you forever.
Did you win the Calamity?
Did you?
But are there any more enemy introductions now, or are they all covered?
No, actually,
I know there's the Assassin Ulala, there's the Psycho Birds.
No, the new enemies that were introduced, being the Ulalas, they have different variances to them. So like many of the other enemies, like the turrets, for example, they'll have different variances to the way they shoot the turret.
Different attack styles, or just stronger?
Different attack styles. So some of them might be long-range fighters where they have a crossbow and they're shooting you from a distance. I just told that bird to go F himself off the platform.
Oh, it listened. Remember, it's crazy.
Yeah, these are crazy birds. They remind me a bit of the dodo birds from Ice Age.
Say Angry Birds.
No, the dodo birds from Ice Age, the ones that at the end of their little chant throw themselves off the platform and they all go extinct that way.
Oh. What's the deal here with this one? The wall.
Oh, this one I'm trying to get through to the other side because there's an item, and so I ended up just falling off the platform and landing on the other side.
What's the legitimate way to get through the wall?
To be honest, for here, you're supposed to take down those little anchors, the ones on the corners of these green platforms here. But from that angle, I couldn't hit them.
Did it need a specific weapon?
No, it's a long range thing though. So you want to either throw the war machete or maybe shoot the calamity cannon at it. It's just from that angle, I just couldn't hit it. I don't know. I was having a midlife crisis.
But back to the enemies. I know there were different variations, but as opposed to new enemies aside from bosses,
well, I mean, here we have a new enemy. That little I don't know, guava-looking thing that I'm trying to attack right now. That's a different color than what it was before, and it's shooting it out at
artichoke.
Yeah, artichoke.
That's it.
You know, the vegetable
right.
or fruit or plant. I don't know. They could get a pain in the. They could be a pain in the butt because these little mine-looking things that chase after me, when they close their eyes, they take very, very minimum damage.
To the point of invincibility, or they can just.
No, it's kind of like in Final Fantasy style, where you go from being able to make 20 damage on the enemy.
Oh, to, well, it might as well be
to like
invincible.
1. Yeah, it might as well be invincible. I mean, you could keep hacking at it, but it won't go down. And there's me trying to adjust to the Calamity Cannon and its range. As you saw, I had pretty much full health there, and with one close range shot to the Calamity Cannon...
It has too big of a blast radius.
Yeah, especially when you upgrade and everything, because you could just make the blast radius half the screen. Can get pretty crazy, kids.
We're going to be... And on this part, we're on our way to the terminals. We haven't reached them yet.
No, we're not on our way to the terminals. Actually, no, we're in the a part of the terminals. We're actually going to go get Zia, because we totally forgot.
She's not near the terminals, or is she just somewhere else?
She's somewhere else. This is a specific district on the way to the terminals. That's why it has that kind of art style.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing a lot of this environment in the next level for the end game, just because they're so close to each other, and we'll find out what happened to Zia, why she disappeared, why her harp was left behind, and everything. Also, kind of some more stuff hinting at like a romance thing that was supposed to happen, but never really got followed through with.
I'd like to think maybe it was intended
to kind of like leave it.
The rest of the game feels complete. Leave it purposefully open-ended anyway. Maybe up to the player's interpretation.
Yeah. Well, a lot of games do that, where it's up to the player's interpretation. The first thing that pops into my head when it's that kind of art style-y way of resolving conflicts, the first thing I think of is Journey. One of your personal favorites.
Journey, that's true. They leave a lot of this stuff open-ended to the player, but Bastion, it's a bit odd with it being they work They work hard telling the story, but apparently want to leave some parts open for player interpretation, which I guess works well. It just feels a little jarring in the end, especially if you're doing not a speed run, but playing through the whole game in one sitting.
Yeah, it can be. The definite change of pace, I will say, what seemed kind of odd and out of place was the different endings. Oh. When you're getting to everything, and then you get to the very ending of the game, you finish the end game and everything, and it's asking you to make decisions, and you're like, wait a minute.
Well, I thought we were all following a set path anyway.
Yeah.
This guy.
And there I go. I should. Lifeline, like I said, is my best friend. Because the way Lifeline works is that if I, oh god, I'm derping out here. I'm trying to get through, but I'm supposed to be hitting those anchors, and there's that blue arrow going, "Hey, dumbass, hit the anchors."
This is funny to see.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you know where the solution is.
Yeah, especially looking back on it now and everything.
There's no more ooh-la-la enemies aside from the assassin and that, I guess, gunslinger dude?
No, there's I want to say another 2 that we're going to be seeing. There's a stronger assassin type one, and then there's kind of like a Hulk one, and there's of course the specialty one that you fight at the end of the game.
Oh. Is it a boss or just a special?
Yeah, it's basically a boss. Though the fight scene, I want to say, is pretty interesting. At least the way that they have the kid have the showdown with him. The spoiler alert: that guy that sucker punched us earlier and gave us the note from Zolf to Zia. That's who we're going to be facing down with. I guess he's kind of like the headsman of Ooh La La clan at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at, when I see the money going up, when it comes to grinding for the weapon upgrades, is it like a very, very, very long, arduous kind of grinding, or is it, I guess, a couple sessions, or I guess an hour or so when you got the upgrades taken care of?
If you play it through the regular story and you're not completely focusing on, because when you break items and stuff, fragments. So if you're not focusing on breaking every object, on finding all the secret areas where they have fragments and everything, there I am finally realizing, hey, these anchors, they do something. Like there, if I didn't go in that direction, I would have missed that chunk of fragments, which is like 75 or 76 of fragments worth, which in the game can be quite a bit. If you're not hunting down all of it, you'll be fine. With a few sessions of the dream sequences, you'll live. You'll be able to get all the upgrades and everything. The only part I want to say where it feels tedious is in some of the longer levels. But once again, the story is so captivating. It just draws you in to where you don't really notice that, hey, that one level was 20 minutes long. Or, that one mission, took 15 minutes.
Any captivating game, you realize that you're 3 hours in, or it's 5 a.m., and you still haven't stopped.
I'm like, I should probably sleep today.
Or...
or tomorrow.
Or keep playing.
Or keep playing. I think some games that did that to me was The Last of Us. I would find myself playing it, and then, hey, look, it's 2 a.m. I guess I better sleep. And then there's, Joel looking back at me through the screen going, the sleep is for the weak. And so then I'm like, all right, I'll keep playing.
Now, you mentioned the difficulty not getting too bad. Is that just main game, or does the grinding, or at least the gauntlets or the dream sequences, push the difficulty up?
The gauntlets definitely push the difficulty up, as would any...
And the idols as well.
Yeah, as would any gauntlet, like it's supposed to do. Normally when games have those kind of trial-like things, it gets a little tougher. Specifically,
they're not infinite gauntlets, though.
No,
it's not until you tire out.
Yeah, it's like set amount of waves, and it's more of an endurance thing. Like, how long can you manage your potions? How long can you, use the correct weapons and everything? The toughest one is definitely the Ruckus dream sequence, simply because it's just it takes so long.
I can't see from here. We found her?
Yeah, we found her.
Oh, okay.
And, so Ruckus here is just talking like it's not like how it was during Prosperous Bluff when we found her at first. And here we go. Spoiler alert: she wasn't kidnapped. She went with her own free will.
She wanted to see what happened to the Ooh La La.
Yeah, it says something along the lines of right there. She had to see if everything Zolf said was true, and even though she. Here's my controller wigging out, which it does quite a bit. I try to choose one weapon or item, and then it chooses the other one for me. One of the things, though, that happens with Zia, though, is she wants to find out what happened to her people. Because though she is not from the terminals like other Ura are, she still feels that, the bond between blood, so to speak.
Does it ever go into that then? She said she wanted to see if Zolf's words were true, but she
finds out for the most part they're true, but...
is there any response to it? Because now she's just here.
She still decides to choose us over her people, so to speak. I want to say something along the lines of, it's because, she was born and raised in Caelondia, but, to be completely honest, I think you'll get more out of it if you watch the dream sequence, read the subtitles and everything that Ruckus will be speaking about, and listening to her story, how she survived the calamity, everything from her perspective, and then just kind of take your assumptions from there. In my opinion, it's just she doesn't want to believe them. She gets taken back because of her perspective with everything. I think I spoiled it earlier. Her dad is responsible for the calamity, the policemen, the marshals, I believe, or at least the elite versions of the marshals. They force them to work on the calamity and everything. And so, from her perspective, when everything goes down, it's completely shock for her.
So we found her. She's back with us. And now the only thing that's left is Zolf.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Once you enter this area, there is no turning back. We are at the end
so
game,
So at this point that you're given the option to either do dream sequences, or is that all that's left?
No, they've been kind of peppered in along the way.
But like at this point, because since you can't go back to previous regions, are all that's left if you choose to stay behind for a little bit.
Yeah, all you would be able to do is dream sequences.
Oh, okay, just for grinding.
Yeah, but to be perfectly honest, though, as soon as everything is happening, it's not first instinct to go, I should do a dream sequence.
Sometimes that's the case, only if you feel like you had a hard time in the previous region before.
Oh no, like I said, the game does a good job at doing the difficulty and everything, so you don't feel like it's too bad.
Oh.
Yeah, with this part, actually, the attention to detail here in the terminals is really phenomenal. At least with the environment and everything. You see everything's frosty. If you look at the icicles that outline the borders and stuff, you'll actually see like Ura civilians trapped in ice.
Oh, Pompeii style.
Yeah, Pompeii style. Like I said, this game, at least when it comes to the Calamity, does
these guys.
They're waiting for you to strike, and so as soon as I attack, they come slashing away at me. But because with the Calamity Cannon, it's a one-hit kill. Boom, 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 boom. They all go down.
They didn't even bother attacking.
No, those specific ones are supposed to counterattack.
Oh.
But once again, because the Calamity Cannon is just such a monster, it takes them down with one hit, and boom, done. No time for counter.
Oh,
You did.
There we go. And are these levels are about as long as the previous regions, or?
I want to say this one's just a little bit extended, maybe by 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
But
we'll be taking care of it at the end of this part.
Yeah, so to speak. The boss battle and everything we'll be seeing next part. This is just everything following up to it. The narrator here will spoil that.
The person notice that he's gone a little quiet recently.
Yeah,
not talking as much.
Throughout the entirety of the game, he's speaking to what you're going to assume is you. He's kind of breaking the fourth wall and talking to you. At this point, he points out that he's not talking to you. He's actually talking to Zia. The entire time that he's talking is taking the place between him, the kid leaving the Bastion, and heading here for the terminals for the final fight. So this whole time we're fighting, he's telling Zia the whole story of what had happened up till then. That's why, he keeps referring to the character as ma'am, no ma'am. It's just kind of like little subtle hints. Like I said, the attention to detail, the narrator the entire time is not talking to us, even though it feels like he's talking to us. He's telling the story, and he says, while we're waiting, everyone's waiting and everything, we're spending time waiting for him to come back by telling each other stories.
There's never a point where it's like, now we're speaking in the present. This is all a past retelling.
Yeah, so actually, I like to believe that right now, as I'm fighting, Ruckus is telling the story to Zia.
Okay. It's like, it's never he stops and then tells the story as it goes along.
No, it's like everything that had happened, so from the moment that the kid woke up on the walls till now, he's kind of telling that story to Zia in this time frame.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what I like to believe. Once again, this game is definitely open for some interpretation.
We're near the end of it.
Yeah, so we'll be ending up here. I'm going to be taking the little surfboard on the right side. Right now I'm just collecting whatever fragments are left around. We'll be hopping on the surfboard and seeing you guys next time.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you guys in part, what is it?
10.
Part 10, final part story-wise.
Got to end the game, everybody.
We'll be seeing you guys then.